So, over the past week, I was lucky enough to go to New York City and do a presentation there on chronic pain, on, on the work that I do. And one of the things that I think I'm seeing in terms of people's resistance to doing this work and to saving their own lives, in terms of people really stuck in any sort of chronic pain condition, is that they resent this work because they think it's implying that the pain is in your head. It's such a misconception, and it really upsets me because I'm so passionate about helping people heal. And then I hear that and I'm like, okay, how can I explain this better? Because even there was an article that came out yesterday. So today's October 3rd. So yesterday in Vox, that was discussing the legacy of Dr. Sarno, and it said something that I think the title of the article was something like, thousands of people believe that what Dr. Sarno says, that the pain is in your head. And I'm like, oh God, because my number one problem helping people is fighting their resistance. People become insulted, as they should, if they think that someone is diminishing something that has made them suffer. If you're in bed suffering from a chronic condition, and you think that someone's coming in and saying, well, I have a solution because the pain's only in your head, so let me teach you how to think differently, that is absolutely missing the mark, like pretty brilliantly. And I this YouTube channel is really my only platform to speak. I hope to have a larger platform one day, do a TED Talk, go on more TV shows, find a way to connect with people on more of a mass scale to help them understand this. But today I'll say this: the pain is not in your head. The pain is as real as if someone stabbed you with a knife. It is not, you're not creating it, it's not in your head, it's simply not going to be fixed by manipulating something physically in your body. That's what I'm saying. So it's not that the pain is in your head. It's just that if we think about it this way, okay, so if I have a stomach ache, where does that pain live? Does it live in my stomach? Well, let's think about it. Maybe I have a bacteria, or maybe I have an infection, or maybe for many reasons it could live in my stomach. But what about the stomach ache I get when I'm really nervous because I'm about to go on stage and speak? Or what about the upset stomach that leaves me running to the bathroom when I get really bad news and I have to wait in order to resolve it? Or what about that gripping feeling in my chest and in my throat when I look at my cell phone in the middle of the night and it rings and it's my mother's phone number? What about those feelings? And most people will agree that those feelings exist in the moment. Those moments of really enhanced acute fight or flight can lead to physical reactions in our body. But what I say is, don't we owe it to ourselves to be curious about the way it feels to have those kind of physical reactions, and to be curious as we suffer year after year in chronic pain, which I did at one point in my life, to be curious if it's possible that emotional genesis could lead to physical pain. Can an emotional reaction to something lead to a physical reaction? And if the answer is yes, in any way, shape, or form, then potentially our minds can become open to a greater situation, which is, can a tremendous amount of repressed emotion lead to a chronic condition? The dog wants to leave, so say goodbye, because look at this face. You can go if you want. So the reason that I'm so passionate about discussing this is because what I've come up against recently is people's reactions to my trying to express the work that I do, which is, No, no, I get what you're saying, but I have something real. And I totally understand that. I have an MRI that is one of the scariest things most orthopedic surgeons who've seen it have ever seen. I mean, it's a mess. My lower spine, a mess. But when I figured out that maybe, possibly, there could be another reason for my pain, that there might be more than one way to reach the same conclusion, that although I do have a very significant spinal abnormality, if you look at abnormalities, like if you compare my spine to a perfect spine, that when I learned that it was possible that did not account for that awful, searing, acute, and then aching, debilitating daily panic of chronic pain, when I realized it was possible that there might be another way that pain was being manifested in my system, that gave me a chance to be curious and to try something different. And what I want to give you, anyone who's listening and anybody who's out there, I want to give you the chance, because I think what happens is people hear anything about emotions and they immediately shut the door on it. And what I want is to give people a chance to do this work. Okay, so if we're going to start there and just talk about sort of combating someone's resistance, then this can come in. Then you can be open to what I'm going to say next, which is, dude, this works. I have been doing this in private practice and in my own life for over 25 years. Most specifically, for over 10 years, my private practice has been completely single focused, which is working with people with chronic pain and conditions. So this is not conjecture. This is not, oh, well, maybe that's a nice idea. This is based on Dr. Sarno's theories and the way I have built upon them and the way I've created certain techniques and methods for people to heal. I have seen things that can only be described as a modern miracle. You know, when my patient Olivia was hospitalized for over a year with head and facial pain and pressure that was so severe, she was, hair falling out, skinny to the bone, on her mother's couch at the age of 23, begging for death. And she found mind body medicine and came into my practice, and 6 months later, 3 months later, enrolled back in vet school, and now 4 years later is in her internship getting ready for residency without pain. I say, oh, I just want people so badly to get this. So, I mean, you can imagine my passion, and I don't judge somebody who looks at my work and says, don't tell me that you can cure chronic pain. I don't judge them, because I really think that chronic pain is really an epidemic of fear more than it is an epidemic of pain. I mean, it is pain. I've been in it, but it starts with fear, because fear is what the body holds as pain. And all pain comes from the withholding. We hold ourselves so tight because we are in constant elevated fight or flight when we're in pain. The work that I suggest takes us out of that fight or flight, brings our system down, connects us to our equilibrium, allows us to heal and let go of the need to fire, for our brain to fire pain signals and conditions to different parts of our bodies. And so I guess what I'm saying is, I invite you to be curious. I have so much great information here. I have an online course on my website for purchase. I have a book. It's a lot less expensive than going to doctors, and it's just so impactful. It just really works. And I'm not saying it can work for anyone and everyone. There are things that block us from being able to look at ourselves in a way that can affect change, but for a lot of you guys it can. For you, person watching, it's just me and you sitting here right now. Me and you, okay? Maybe you're laying in your bed, maybe you're on your couch, maybe you're sitting on your phone, and you're just like, what the hell? I'm struggling here. And what I'm going to say is, give yourself the gift of being curious. It could work for you. I'm not suggesting anything hippy dippy pie in the sky ooga booga. This is real science. Our bodies hold on to pain because of a heightened fight or flight mode that we are in from years and years of repressed emotions, and it has to come out somewhere. We live in this closed system. Here we are. We have a certain amount of energy available to us each day. And when we are in pain, we use a tremendous amount of energy to hold down the feelings associated with the pain and associated with what created the pain. And I can help you get rid of that. So I hope that anyone listening maybe has cracked open their mind just a little bit, um, and just allowed in the possibility that if a long, stressful day can give you a headache, maybe years of emotional stress pushed down, pushed down, pushed down because it was not convenient and it was not possible to feel it properly. And you didn't even know how to feel it properly. And you didn't even know if you felt it properly that it would affect your health, that could cause chronic migraines. Because it can. And I have seen it. And I have seen it resolve with this work. So I always come with love and light and belief in the possibilities for people to take back their power and reclaim their lives. And with that, I will say till next time, namaste.